Donkey Kong 3 hit US arcades in 1983. It was the third in the Donkey Kong franchise and was developed and published by Nintendo and directed by Shigeru Miyamoto. Donkey Kong 3 was the first Donkey Kong game to not feature Mario. Instead, you played as Stanley, who owns a greenhouse, and Donkey Kong has invaded it. So it's up to you to save your plants from the famous gorilla. Unlike the past two Donkey Kong titles, this one borrowed gameplay elements heavily from Nintendo's arcade machine Space Firebird. The goal of the game was to use your bug spray, which you could only aim straight up, to push Donkey Kong through the roof to pass the level. It's harder than it sounds. While doing this, you have to dodge falling projectiles and flying insects, some of which explode and send out even more projectiles. The bug spray does have a range. Although it's pretty generous, you still have to jump and fire in order to hit Donkey Kong through the roof. Some bugs could not be defeated by the spray. Instead, it would stun them, and this would block your shots in your line of sight. The game had a power-up that increased your range and damage for a limited number of shots. There were only 3 different level layouts that repeated in a fixed sequence. The goal of the game, like most 80s arcade titles, was to get a high score. The game was well received and praised for its great sound effects and music in 1983. The one thing Nintendo always did very well was their designs of the arcade cabinets themselves. They all used the same enclosure, however they were all different colors, making for a nice uniform look about them. The game was ported to the NES almost 3 years later and was pretty faithful to its arcade counterpart. The game was also ported to home computers, however this was only in Japan, and from what I've read, they were pretty terrible. Probably due to these ports not being done by Nintendo, but Hudson instead. Have a request for an arcade corner? Tweet me and include #ArcadeCorner. For more videos like this and everything else gaming related, you're already in the right place. You're on Shacknews.com. Next time on Shack's Arcade Corner.